Judges, are you ready? Okay, they gave me the thumbs up sign. Michael, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Camera, okay. You may begin.
If a tree falls in the forest, that's really just the beginning of the story for many communities. In fact, a dead tree can have much longer lasting effects on the forests and the surrounding communities than it ever did while it was alive and growing. This is particularly true for the communities that tree becomes a substrate for, like fungal communities. It would be really hard to overstate the importance of fungal communities. They make up the largest part of our soil biomass, and they're very important to many food webs. In addition to this, it's widely theorized that plants never would have made the transition from water to land without the benefits they get from relationships between their roots and fungi. If these ecological services aren't enough to get you excited about fungi, consider this. Without fungi, we wouldn't have beer, bread, or penicillin. Even though fungi have all of these important ecological and gastronomical uses, very little is known about them. In fact, only about 100,000 of an estimated 1.5 to 5.1 million species of fungi are described. That's less than 6%. One of the most important services that fungi offer is the decomposition of organic material. Fungi are some of the only organisms that have the ability to break down some of the components of dead plants and trees, like cellulose and lignin, which, if not decomposed by fungi, can remain as a part of the soil organic layer for thousands of years. Recently, I had the pleasure of seeing a study from my field of study, a paper from my field of study, go through the filter of media. The paper was entitled, "Highly Reduced Mass Loss and Increased Litter Layer in Radioactively Contaminated Areas." After a few transformations through the internet and through the media, it became a headline of "Radioactive Fungus, Chernobyl Forests Not Decaying Properly." While even I'll admit that that's a pretty sexy headline, it doesn't really get to the point of the paper, which I'm sure you can imagine was not that radioactive fungi are coming to take over the world, but that in areas that are too toxic for fungi to live, trees aren't decaying. That seems a bit sensational, but it did make me wonder, what would it be like to navigate through a forest where all of the dead trees just keep piling up? Now that I've hopefully convinced you that fungi are worth study, let me tell you a little bit about my research. Over the course of this summer, I will be spending a considerable amount of time in our local forests. I will be collecting wood samples from dead and down trees of 5 different decay classes. The measurements of these trees will tell us how long it takes for ponderosa pine to decay in our local forests. In addition, I will be extracting fungal DNA from these trees to determine what fungus are decaying and living in trees of different decay classes. This will help us to establish a baseline of fungal communities, as well as inform management decisions throughout our forests. Thank you.